They say crises reveal priorities, and this week, Colorado's challenges are making it crystal clear what's at stake. From raging wildfires to labor disputes, the headlines only scratch the surface. Let's dig deeper. I'm Tori Ganal, and here's your Mountain Minute for August 12th. First up, Colorado just witnessed one of the most aggressive and unprecedented uses of state law to target an oil company's core operations. In 2024, the towns of Dacono and Frederick invoked Rule 211, meant for abandoned wells, to force Kauffman Company, a family-run operator with decades in Colorado's oil fields, to plug active wells, calling them, quote, no longer useful. Supporters say it's accountability, but critics warn it's a dangerous precedent, letting cities weaponize environmental law to settle land disputes, putting property rights, energy production, and due process at risk. This is part one of our three-part Rocky Mountain Voice investigation into Rule 211, how it happened, what's next, and why it matters for every Coloradan. Stay tuned for part two tomorrow. Columnist Mike O'Donnell says Colorado isn't creating jobs, it's creating unemployment. Despite the governor's boasts, the state is lagging in labor force participation, with fewer people working now than before the pandemic. O'Donnell blames overregulation, high taxes, and anti-business policies that push employers and their workers out. In Denver, as businesses flee downtown, Mayor Mike Johnston points to one metric: the city's homicide rate is down. But critics say that doesn't change the reality of shuttered storefronts, rising property crime, and an urban core that's struggling to recover from years of COVID shutdowns and public safety challenges. And in a fiery commentary, CJ Garbo warns against Colorado's decision to let non-citizens, including green card holders and DACA recipients, serve as police officers. He argues law enforcement is an extension of citizen sovereignty, and giving the badge to those without full allegiance undermines public trust in constitutional principles. Now to the rest of the Colorado beat. The state faces an $800 million budget gap with no deal in sight. Lawmakers are already floating tax hikes and program cuts, setting up a bitter fight this fall. The Lee Fire has now burned over 100,000 acres, making it one of the largest in Colorado history. Fire crews are battling dangerous winds and dry conditions as evacuations expand. In a major shift, Kaiser Permanente will no longer provide gender transition services for minors in Colorado. Critics say it's a rollback of trans rights, while supporters call it a return to medical caution and common sense. The University of Colorado's medical residents have filed a labor complaint accusing the school of unfair labor practices over wages, scheduling, and union negotiations. Now for national news. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is blasting Democrats who fled the state to block a GOP voting bill, calling them, quote, un-Texan cowards who abandoned their duties. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump is launching a federal push to restore order in Washington, D.C., focusing on crime reduction and cleanup of public spaces. How about Colorado next, President Trump? That's your Mountain Minute. For more details on each story, head to RockyMountainVoice.com and subscribe to our Mountain Minute newsletter. Stay sharp, stay bold, and stay in the fight. We'll see you tomorrow.